Morning, everyone. For the briefing, the media briefing, like that. There's always technical gremlins, and I'm tall, so they set it up for a short person. Okay, is this better? We will do a formal welcome, but I want to, from my side, just introduce myself. My name is Nolien Greiling, so I'm lead the social development and communications team at Impact Catalyst, and I'm very proud that we are here today at long last to showcase the Limpopo Road Safety Strategy, and the media briefing will tell you a little bit more about what it entailed and how we got where we are now. Formally, I want Dr. Jonathan James to welcome everyone and let the proceedings begin. We want to welcome all our esteemed guests, and we really appreciate you spending your time with us today because it was a collaborative effort. Your teams worked with us to create this strategy. So let's celebrate it and let's move forward together. Thank you.
Thanks, Nolien. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and to all of those online attending our media briefing. Jonathan James, Program Manager on the Limpopo Road Safety Program. Echoing Nolien's sentiments, just thank you to the HODs for joining us, and then a big word of thanks to all of our project team members who are also joining us today to present to the media and online around the specific projects that we have highlighted for the media briefing. Later today will mark a significant milestone in the Limpopo Road Safety Program, where we will showcase the Limpopo Road Safety Strategy. We started the planning for this program in May 2022. Feels like a decade ago and many gray hairs ago. And as a program team, we've really shown some incredible progress. That progress is all thanks to our donors and our partners at the Anglo-American Foundation and also at the Anglo-American organization. Lashoka, thank you very much for that continued support, and to Samira and Francesca in their absence for their ongoing leadership guidance. In May 2023, we launched this program officially, and we wouldn't be where we are now without the support of the Limpopo departments. The collaboration has been critical. The MECs, HODs, chief directors, and all the way through the levels have been integral to the progress that we've made. The most exciting thing for me now is that today is actually a milestone step rather than a goodbye step. So 2025 really has potential to be one of the most exciting periods in the development of the focused interventions in Limpopo. That's actually what we're really excited about. We spent a lot of time in blueprinting and design, and we spent a lot of time working on establishing the collaboration. But today will mark the next step in that milestone, and we're really excited to continue that partnership with the Anglo-American Foundation, with Anglo-American, and then the provincial departments across Limpopo. Next year, we will have focused interventions where we'll work on practical things, which to me is the critical part of this entire program. Without any further ado then, I'd like to hand over to Lashoka Ndiyamba from Anglo-American and ask Lashoka to speak briefly about the partnership that we've created, and thank her as well for traveling through super early this morning from Gauteng. It's good to be out here in Limpopo, the Great North. We're excited to be here. So have a good day, and we look forward to sharing the LRSS day with you. Nolien?
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Before we proceed, we just want to give the hotel an opportunity to do a quick safety share and just tell us where we need to be if there's an emergency. So I'm going to ask Innocent to come and just explain quickly, and then we will go over to Leshoka.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Innocent Matlalela. I'm working as a risk manager for the hotel. So I asked this opportunity just to briefly for evacuation for in case of emergency from this premises where we are. We've got 2 assembly points for in case of emergency. But from the point where we are sitting now, for any case of emergency, if maybe the building comes on fire or is any threatened situation, then we'll ask you guys to use that door as your emergency evacuation one. And this one also here, you can use it as an emergency evacuation point. And that other one there at the back, you can also use that one. And then we've got all our fire marshals on standby in a hotel for in case. And then from there, after this door, then they will be directing you straight to the assembly point. So for in case of any incident, either it's a first aid incident or medical attention incident, we are here to help you. So please feel safely in our hotel, and we welcome all of you. Thank you.
There we go. Thank you, Innocent. And if you need a comfort break, you go outside the door, you turn right, you turn left, and in the passage, the bathrooms or the toilets are. Thank you, Leshoka.
Thank you kindly for lowering it for me. I'm not as tall as you, but my grandmother did say it's a lady's height to have my height. So thank you. Good morning, everyone. So I was having a little bit of a laugh with Marie and Jonathan earlier around, the end year fatigue. We were talking about how many kind regards do we have left still in us. And safe to say, I have a few left, and I'm glad to see that everyone else in the room who is present here today seems to have a few kind regards left with them. But more importantly, I think it's testament to the fact that you are here because you have a shared vision in terms of this initiative with regards to the Limpopo Road Safety Program. So the Limpopo Road Safety Program, the Lrsp, is an ambitious response to South Africa's crisis with regards to road incidents. When the program was ideated, key findings from the data gave a really stark picture in terms of the plight of road incidents, particularly within the Limpopo province, which ranked severely high. When we take a look at the data, we see that Limpopo records a higher average in terms of road-related deaths, and that's 100,000 people than the national average in itself. So it's a very alarming rate, and though the fatalities have reduced, the statement that we actually discovered when we first initiated the program is that one life is one too many. And I think that signals definitely the relevance and the significance of actually undertaking and embarking on a program of this nature. While the data speak volumes, it doesn't measure to the lived experience that we encounter, particularly with fatalities. A mother, a daughter, a sister, a brother, a friend. I believe each and every one of us here has in one way or another, directly or indirectly, had the devastating impact of a road incident. And that's why this program is really not about changing roads. It's about changing behavior. By addressing the key risks like speeding, drinking and driving, through education and enforcement, by enhancing post-crash response systems, we're building a culture of safety, and that is very important. But the LRSP goes further, creating opportunities for communities to thrive by linking road maintenance, micro-enterprises, and Jonathan will know this very well, the micro-enterprises lives very close to my heart. I gave him a lot of sleepless nights. By ensuring that we're turning safety into a tool for economic empowerment. So the wheels have been set in motion, and through this program, but we also recognize that addressing road safety requires more than just a corporate intervention. It calls for collaboration between government, the private sector, and civil society. That's why the Anglo-American Foundation stepped in to fund this program, which is a multi-year initiative designed to tackle these challenges holistically. And with this, I must acknowledge the invaluable role of our partners whose expertise has been pivotal in ensuring the success of key projects within the LRSP. These partnerships have fostered a joint demand for action, and this is testament to the statement that no one entity can do it alone. We all need to come together to ensure our province, its communities, as well as their families are safeguarded against the devastating impact of road incidents. Together, we are bringing global best practices and tailor-making them to address local challenges. This is not a blanket approach. We are tailor-making it to fit the critical needs that are underpinned by road incidents within the province. This is a pilot initiative, and what we hope to do is that once we get a proof of concept, we can roll it out to other provinces. We are lending credibility and a forward-looking vision towards our efforts. It is more than just a road safety initiative. It is a demonstration of what is possible when diverse stakeholders come together to address complex challenges. As we continue on this journey, we remain driven by a shared vision. And that shared vision is to create safer communities, protect vulnerable lives, and build a future where young people can move freely and safely. This program represents the power of partnerships and the strength of a collaborative action. Together, we are providing the change that is required and is possible, but also inevitable when we work hand in hand. The fire has now been ignited through this initiative. And as we look to the year ahead with the 2025 call to action, which in the next session, Jonathan will expand on, I want to encourage each and every one of us here to continue to fan the flames and keep them burning so that we can create a safer environment for all road users. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Jonathan and Lashoka. We really appreciate your guidance in this project as well, and without that, we would not be here today. So I want to now formally start the media briefing, and the specialist will get the opportunity to tell you more about some of the milestones we reached, some of the impacts that we made, and feel free after each presenter. We'll allow about 2 questions, but also they are here today, and you can also type your questions online. If we can't answer it now, it will be answered during the day. So, but please feel free. So the next speaker is our technical specialist for Limpopo Road Safety Program, Dr. Karin Venter, and she will give us an overview of the Limpopo Road Safety Program projects that we have initiated. Thanks, Dr. Karin.
Good morning once again, and a very warm welcome from me as well. And Lashoka, I want to say that was the most beautiful summary of the essence of this program that I've heard so far. Thank you very much. My name is Karin Venter, and I am a senior researcher at the CSIR in Pretoria, and I've been the technical lead for this program for the last few years. But they don't need me anymore. They're all road safety specialists by now. I'm really privileged to stand here today and to be able to give you a background and context to the Limpopo Road Safety Program, and to give you a brief overview of each of these projects that were so important in this journey. And once again, thank you for making the time to actually be here with this important milestone for the program. So where did this start? In 2019, the Anglo-American Foundation conducted a public health survey in all of their communities across the world. And this public health survey actually showed that road safety, in Limpopo specifically, where Anglo has a very large footprint, was a priority. It was a public health issue that needed to be addressed. To contextualize the carnage on our roads, the RTMC every year estimates the cost of crashes. For last year, it was in the region of 200 billion rand, 3.4% of our GDP. If we look at fatal crashes in Limpopo, and we look at the 189 fatal crashes that occurred last year, and we assume that only one person in each crash passed away, we know that is not the case. It's costing the province in the region of 12 billion rand. So we're saying one traffic death is one too many. And Leshoka very elegantly framed that. Because it's not about the economic costs only. It's not about the recovery costs. It's about the communities. It's about the victims. It's about the loved ones that have to stay behind and look after a person that's permanently disabled, or bury a loved one, a breadwinner. And all of a sudden, we have so much more that we can do with that funds in terms of social and developmental priorities that we can reallocate that funds to. So I want to say that the Limpopo Road Safety Program is road safety by design. The impact catalyst was appointed and a baseline study was conducted. This baseline study again motivated for the need for a system-wide intervention to address road safety in Limpopo. This call to action set in motion the design and implementation of the Limpopo Road Safety Program. It's premised on the safe system approach, and it's rooted in the National Road Safety Strategy. It was launched in May 2022. So the safe systems approach is globally considered the best practice to address road safety holistically. And it facilitates a paradigm shift that we cannot only blame road users and their behavior. People are fallible. People make mistakes. So we as the designers and the implementers of the system need to take responsibility for the way in which we design and implement things in our road environment. The safe system approach is based on the Road Traffic Safety Management System, or the ISO 39001 standard. That's the theory behind. And if you look at this triangle, if you look at the top of the triangle, that is the costs. That is the outcomes. It's what it costs our country, it's what it costs people, it's what the number of people that die on our roads. And when you look at the bottom, you look at the institutional management functions, and you realize that you need a platform, you need a basis for intervening on the road network. So everything happens on the road network, and that's in the middle of the triangle. You have to plan and design your road environments. You have to provide for self-explaining roads. You have to design safer road environments and infrastructure. But you also have to manage the entry and exit of drivers and road users to the road network. You have to manage the entry and exit of vehicles. What kind of vehicles do we want on our road network? And then lastly, looking at post-crash care. And I'll say a little bit about that later on. So in a nutshell, we had to build the foundation. And the first projects looked at strengthening institutional road safety management in the province. So the reason why you guys are also here today is the launch of the Limpopo Road Safety Strategy. It's a significant milestone, not only for the province, but in the country. And this strategy is an action plan and a roadmap for the next 5 to 10 years in terms of which the province will be addressing road safety and making a difference. Secondly, we had to build capacity to actually implement the safe system approach principles and the projects that's associated with this. This was done through a 2-day accredited course that was facilitated by the South African Road Federation, capacitating public and private officials to be able to address safe system approach principles and to implement the projects. Lastly, we can't make informed decisions if we do not have data. And Project Free is pivotal to the success of going forward in terms of road safety in Limpopo. We need data to understand our problems. We need data that we need data to understand who and where we need to intervene. We need data to understand our target audiences. Moving towards Pillar 2, Safer Roads and Mobility, which is pivot, or it's centered around our providing infrastructure. Project 4 looked at building capacity for road safety assessments on existing roads, specifically using the International Road Assessment Program. Project 5 was the actual assessment of 1,000 kilometers of the road network on the secondary strategic road network that supports economic development in the province. And then Project 5 and Project 8 was integrated because it revolved around infrastructure assessments around schools. So making going to school for learners in Limpopo safer. Lastly, as Lashoka indicated, very important for me as well is the development of a blueprint for SMMEs to assist with routine road maintenance. And for me, looking from a road safety perspective, rather from economic development perspective, it's the little things that we can do just through maintenance that can actually really make a difference in terms of road safety. Providing clear zones, ensuring that the grass is cut so that people are visible, so that there are sight distances and sight lines. Then moving on to the improving road user behavior, the Project 8 was about school education and awareness through the Global Road Safety Partnership VIA program, and I'm sure we all agree that road safety starts at home. Project 9 is the program's support to the provincial government, to the different departments that has road safety education and awareness campaigns. And there has been quite a lot of these campaigns that were supported through the program, Nolene and Marie, and the participatory education techniques. Absolutely amazing work. Project 10 is currently in implementation. It revolves around law enforcement, assessing resources and capability, and to align the findings and to assist the traffic law enforcement fraternity to become safe system aligned. Lastly, Project 11 looks at driver licenses, and this project is premised on the fact that we would like to ensure that our young drivers, our novice drivers, our inexperienced drivers are equipped with the necessary skills and the necessary capabilities to actually to become future safe drivers. Lastly, the stepchild of road safety, post-crash care, which in my view is one of the most important pillars in the whole system. Project 12 assists the Department of Health and the first responders through capability development and equipping the first responders with new methodologies, new equipment, new methods to actually be more effective and more efficient within their work. I'm saying that post-crash care is often the stepchild of the system, and I'm saying that because if we think about road safety by design, post-crash care needs to be incorporated into all the other pillars. So whether we design a road or we're busy with construction on a road, we need to have that foresight to understand when we design, we need to make provision for the EMS, for the first responders. We need to have our driver behavior as such to not drive in that emergency lane during congested times, because it might implicate that someone can lose their life. So in conclusion, and possibly some reflections from my side, one of the key success stories, the Limpopo Road Safety Program has really, it's been an amazing journey, it's been an amazing project. It's supported by institutional and technical steering committees, institutional, provincial, so local support. Technical steering committee that consists of both local and international road safety experts. Limpopo Road Safety Program is not being done in isolation, and the rest of the country has been sitting very, very straight and listening, because progress is reported not only provincially but nationally to DOT, RTMC, SUNROL in various quarterly forums and structures. The other provinces are listening and they are eager to do the same. Lastly, in my opinion, this is the most successful example that South Africa and even SADC has ever had in terms of a public-private partnership for road safety. The magic of that lies in the fact that it's funded by international donors, funded by local and international donors. Without dedicated funding, this would not have been possible. It's implemented by a local agent. It's supported by international best practices and partners like IRAP and the Global Road Safety Partnership. Supported by local, national and provincial government. And it's supported and implemented by private sector and local service providers. And with that, I would like to thank you, and I wish you the best for today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Karim. And yes, what I take is this is the best program, and Dr. Karim would know because she's really an expert in this field, in South Africa and even in SADC. So I think we can be very proud of this, and this is made possible by the collective effort of all the partners. Next on, we are going to quickly unpack and understand the challenges, and that will be done by Dr. Marie Romain, and to tell us a little bit more about why we are doing this, because there's challenges, and this program is addressing those challenges.
I'm not tall as Nulien. Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your attendance. Just to say that again, we can't do this on our own, and it's been an absolute pleasure working with you over the last few years and seeing this come to life. As Karin mentioned, you can't do planning if you don't have information, and if you know me, you will know if you say the word data, I'm immediately awake, because data for me is a passion. So this project is a passion for me, and I got to see it from conceptualization, infancy, and now my child is running and it's happy and it's spreading the joy. So I'm really proud to stand here and to show you what has been done in collaboration with the department, and how it has helped us into the planning process moving forward. So firstly, you will hear the word data-driven decision-making a lot, and I think it's actually a buzzword at the moment, but you cannot plan if you don't know what you are planning for. So this project and Project 3, we ventured into creating a road systems or road safety data management platform. We went through different processes, how this can be done, what platform will it be run on. So we went through various stages, but we wanted to develop a platform that is spatial. Data doesn't mean anything if you can't see the data. To help government make decisions around their different decision-making processes and also their planning. So what we eventually did is we sat down with the Department of Transport and Community Safety to understand how they are currently capturing the incident data. The incident data was or is still captured in an Excel sheet, and it's very comprehensive, very insightful data. The only limitation is that it is not spatially represented. There's no geolocation, there's no coordinates, so you have an area which can be within a 5-kilometer radius if you know the area well. So you get an understanding where it is, in which district, where local, maybe in a town, but you can't physically see the data on a map. Okay, so what we did is we took that data, which was provided by the department, and we decoded that. We digitized that into S3 ArcGIS to help us get a better understanding. So you will see just a quick picture there in the morning, in the bottom, showing how the digitization process went. What we eventually ended up with is a comprehensive road incident data dashboard spanning from 2018. And initially it started with 2022. It was updated this year with 2023 data, and it's currently being updated with the latest 2024 data. Why does that matter? So what you now get is a visual of the incidents, how they happen within the province. We applied filters to this platform, so you can filter per district municipality, local municipality, time of day, day of the week. You can even filter according to a period or a specific road network. Why the period? If, for example, an intervention or awareness program was run in a certain area, you can go back and see, after that awareness program was run, what was the implications? Did it actually make a difference? So you can see the before and the after, which then helps with your monitoring and evaluation. This dashboard also has a high-level summary, so as you filter through it, the little icons at the top change, showing the total incidents, the total injuries, and then your fatalities. It also gives you a high-level view of the monthly incidents per day. So you can see from January to December, when is your incidents actually happening and on what day. And I'll go into the details a bit more, but you can see at the bottom, December is obviously spiking. I'm not going to go into the overall details of the dashboard. If I have to show it to you, we will most likely be here all day. And then also at the bottom, the incident distribution over the times of day. I think it gives us a better understanding to where the planning needs to go when we do proactive policing. I am not going to go into all the incidents. Other session later will go into the details, but just quickly looking at the dashboard, we can already see that our hotspots are, in terms of districts, Capricorn and Mupani, mostly focused around Polokwane municipality, and then also your Tzaneen municipality. And we all know the N1, the R71, the R101, your R81, as Karin actually mentioned this morning, is our hotspots, and even the R37. So that immediately shows us our hotspots. If we look at our incident hotspots overall, and not specifically focused on fatalities, our December and January months are holiday months when people travel. Limpopo is a holiday destination. People do travel. We're also the gateway to Zimbabwe and other countries. So there's a lot of traveling and large vehicles on our roads. If you look overall through across the years, our statistics on the day, you will see a lot of our incidents happening in the morning between 6 and 8. And I always jokingly say that is just before the speed cameras goes up. People know they can put their foot down because there's no speed cameras, but that is when the incidents are happening. Also in your evenings, a spike between 6 and 8. And specifically if you look at incidents that lead to fatalities between 6 and 7. So we know when this is happening, and we also know when to plan for this. This is also trends that we did foresee, Limpopo being the tourist destination, but also then our workforce traveling. A lot of people living in Limpopo, but traveling to Gauteng for the week to work and then coming back on Friday. So you will see our roads are busy on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That, again, not really a surprise there. If we look at the incidents, the causality, we're looking at drivers losing control, which obviously needs a bit more investigation. Why exactly did they lose control of their vehicles? That is, for me specifically, there is a relation between speed. You will see that speed is a large contributor towards incidents. And reckless and negligent driving. I think if you've driven on the N1 before in your life, I do not have to explain exactly what that looks like. Pedestrian-related incidents very high. Sadly, the highest fatalities are your pedestrian incidents. And there are various reasons, and the strategy does look at that. And unfortunately, many of these incidents are workforce, are young working fathers, leaving families behind, young children and their wives and kids. Sadly, that is the reality of then our economic problem. If we look at the different incidents, our vehicle types, sedans being the main vehicles, part of our incidents, but also our bakkies, we've seen them drive, and then our truck and heavy vehicles. Combi and minibus being fourth, and then it does decline to the bottom. But we do know that it is our larger vehicles mostly involved in the incidents. But like I said, it is one of the things that we need to investigate and see how this influences our planning and our decision making forward, so that we launch the right awareness programs in line with what is required and in collaboration with the department. I know they have so many awareness campaigns and programs already running. It's not reinventing the wheel, but building on what we already have and strengthening that together. Unfortunately, I think someone did mention it this morning, while there has been a steady decrease in the incidents over the past 5 to 6 years, our percentage of fatalities are increasing. So for me, that is a sad number to close on today. But I hope this strategy will make a difference. And as we have mentioned so many times, one life lost is just too many. And I want to thank you and enjoy the day. And again, this opportunity, I hope that we can work together to make a difference on our roads. Thank you.
Thank you, Marie. So if there's questions, please raise your hand. Otherwise, we're going to continue, and we'll also take questions at the end. And this really showed us how we can holistically approach the challenges through using data. And it is not something that we just take out of the air. So the data is there to back why we do what we do. Now, very exciting project, and this is one that I also work closely with, and it is the school and community projects. And I'm going to call Mr. Lucky from the Road Safety Partnership South Africa to tell us more about the VIA program and what we did there. Thank you, Lucky.
Which one? Good morning. I hope you're all well. My name is Lucky Mlauzi. I'm from Rsp South Africa, also known as Lrsp South Africa. So we are part of the Lrsp group from Geneva. And I've been in the road safety space for many, many years. And we are very much passionate about working with kids, communities, and other like-minded professionals. Yeah, we are tasked to deliver project, being part of the Project 8, with focus on VIA and community and children education on road safety. So we are part of the Project 8, and I think why road safety? I think this is a big question, and hence we took the approach of being part of Project 8 via road safety project. And I think I took this from the global report, which was published last year from WHO, so which focused mainly on road safety and children safety. The first part talks about children on the road, and I think this is very much said, because the #1 killer of children through traffic crashes is on the road. This is very much said. If you're counting illness, you're counting all the illness in the world, road traffic is the #1 killer of children. And we talk about children from the age of 5 to young people from up to 29. So we're talking about the social impact there. So we're talking about the young professionals who are getting the job market, and that's very sad. And like Dr. Dr. Fenton and others spoke earlier, that we're losing young professionals, we're losing breadwinners, we're losing future leaders, future presidents, future doctors, and that's very much sad. So hence, for us, VIA is very much close to us because of it tackles the young people from the age of 10 to 18. And the other fact, we're looking at road safety being the 12th leading cause of death amongst all ages. So that is a concern as well. And also, the recent global stats talk about 1.19 million people die on the road every year. It's not here, but also about 40 million people are critically injured on the road every year. So that should be a concern. And I think us here in Africa, in low and middle in incoming countries, we should take that, because we are competing with a lot of social challenges, like the issues of poverty, water, and other social challenges. So I think that the issues of road safety should be put from that level. And I think thanks for our partners, Impact Catalyst, and the sponsors to believe in this project. And the other thing that I want to touch on is the issue of vulnerable road users. Children are very much vulnerable because of what? Their size and their mind. As an adult, I can easily make judgment. I can easily see a car, but learners, when they're traveling from and to schools, they can't make their judgment. Like simple as that, crossing the road. Okay. And then I think lastly on this slide, I want to touch on the issue of the impact on economies. I think Dr. Karen Fender spoke about it costs about 205 billion rands every year in South Africa. So that will be, the cost of insurances, the expenditure in terms of, the post crashes. I'm gonna play a journey video of VIA, just shows you how the impact and then our journey through the past 8 months. Thank you so much. The project actually involved intensive selection of the viewer educators. So we worked with about 23 viewer educators from the two regions of Musina and Blowback, where the Red Cross Society Limpopo, I think, played a critical role because we use some of their volunteers, we use school volunteers, and we also use volunteers from the two municipalities, being Blowback and Musina. And the BS Venetia mine, I think, also played a critical role of being where we're vetting those VIA educators there before the training. The training we're working with Lrsp Geneva. So Michael and Paulo from Geneva came through to the country for a 4-day intensive training, which we've done together with Capacity and Red Cross Society Limpopo Province. So this was a 4-day intensive training, which was wonderful. Even partners from the Limpopo Transport Department came through, and even from the Education Department came through. This picture, it highlights the summary of the project. The first part, obviously, being the training. Obviously, you can see the picture down there. You can see the vehicle of the department. So we had a huge support from the Department of Transport and Education through Mr. Mashiane, Mr. Mafumadi, and the team here in Polokwane here. And we trained about 23 VIA educators, and these 23 VIA educators were employed and given stipend for about six months. So not only the project addressed the issue of road safety, but also gave these young people an employment opportunity. And we went through all the 4 modules of VIA. And the impact was that learners, where we received direct training from our VIA educators, and the other, the indirect impact, because VIA not only happen inside classroom, but also in communities, inside the school classroom, school courtyard, and even in at the main roads with communities. VIA, I think in short, VIA, the reason that VIA is so much unique because it's a very much exciting program which includes games, worksheets, quizzes, manuals. So it stimulates the young people, and it makes young people to look at the issues of road safety in a different light and to make road safety their own. So the first module was the opening module, where we're connecting the young people with road safety, so make it their own. The second one, which was the longest module, which we call it the walking module, which talks about the issue of young people walking to and from school and how the impact there. So it also talks about the issues of mode of transport, the scholar transport, the bicycles, other forms of transport, including scholar transport, formal ones, the buses, and the informal economy of using buggies and other form of transport. The creative module mainly speak about the learners were very much creative because they had to be creative around road safety. So hence we had what you call international creative competition, where all the learners in Limpopo were competing with learners across the world, just in terms of road safety posters. The other one, which is the last module, mainly touched on the issues of infrastructure. As we know that most of our schools are in rural areas where the issue of tar road is a problem. There's no infrastructure. Even the signs of school zones are not there. So we've touched on those things, and I think most of the learners were aware of those facts. Yeah, I'm worried about time, but I'm almost there. So the last part is we've done pre-evaluation and post-evaluation, where most in pre-evaluation, the learners were engaged in what we call our prescribed forms, where we're asked about the issue of road safety, because working with RTMC and other partners, we know that almost 85% of the learners in South Africa, they went through school phases from grade R to grade 12, not hearing even one word about road safety. So we want to change the behavior. And I think Leshoga Elliot talks about changing behavior. So it's all about changing behavior of young learners towards road safety. The second part, which was post-evaluation, had 3 components: the learner, the implementer, which is ourselves, and the view educator. So we took data from after the project, we're done with the project, and there's a huge difference. Almost all of the learners, they're now confident about road safety. They could answer basic questions about road safety. So hence, we are very much happy of the delivery of VIA in phase 1 of the project. I think around July, we had a certificate for all the learners. And I think thanks for the support from the department. Chief was there, Nolene, everyone was there. We had a wonderful occasion. The school in Bluebeck was a host there. And I think we had a wonderful, where kids were very much creative. And I think the province appreciate the program. And we're looking forward to phase 2 of the program, because we've seen the change in behavior. And I think, lastly, from my side, I would like to thank the principals, because VIA is a contact teaching. So without the principals' cooperation, we wouldn't contact VIA, because we have to disturb their yearly curriculum and their daily teaching. So in some schools we've done after school, in some schools we've done it during breaks, and even in LO period. So for Department of Education, and obviously the Premier's office, who allowed the schools to allow us to come into their territory to deliver VIA. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lucky. What stood out for me is really the thing that you said, that from grade R to grade 12, the learners don't even hear about road safety. But through this program, they are now ambassadors for road safety. And I did attend the event, and I could feel the passion that those kids now have for road safety. And that is what we want. We want to change behavior, and it's easier if we start from a younger age. Now, very, very interesting presentation. It's regarding the Limpopo Road Safety Assessments, and we'll give over to Ms. Matabu, and she is from RAL, and also Talia.
Yep. Thank you and good morning. It is a pleasure to be presenting on the findings of the road safety assessments, which is part of the Project 5 and Pillar 2 of the Safe Road, of the Safe Systems approach in road safety. And being part of the Limpopo Road Safety Program has been quite an eye-opening experience, especially for the province, in terms of measures that the province could take in addressing safety issues, particularly looking at safer road infrastructure. There is a need for safer roads in the province, and multiple speakers today have mentioned why there is such a greater need. The accident statistics speaks volumes, but also understanding the positioning of the Limpopo province in the context of South Africa and its strategic location as a gateway to the SADC region, as it shares borders with other SADC countries, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique, which then makes it a crucial cross-border trade route for regional cooperation. Added to that, Limpopo is a very rural province with rural landscapes, and rural roads tend to have high speed limits, and there are various economic activities within the province, such as agriculture, mining, and tourism, and they rely heavily on road transport. To that as well, looking at the demographics of the province, which are also contributing to the fatalities that the province is experiencing and the accident statistics that were touched on, there is a high school age population within the province, and it has a median age of 26. And through the presentations, I've also noted that this is a very crucial age group where they are prone to fatalities on the road network. The positioning of the Limpopo region in itself puts it in a position that road safety is an aspect that has to be looked into at a deeper level, given that there are various accident zones that are very known in the country and the province, and such as the N1 corridor that carries a lot of cross-border traffic and long-distance road users who would be fatigued by the time they reach Limpopo province. And what that then says to us is that as part of the safe systems approach, the province should have forgiving roads because they would be fatigued at some point. So should there be errors, human errors, our roads should be forgiving enough to reduce fatalities. There is also the R71 corridor, the Polokwane to Zanin corridor, which is known for its sharp curves and limited side distances and overtaking lanes, and it also is quite a high accident-prone area. The R37 corridor, the Bekersport to Polokwane, this is also known for heavy traffic, particularly looking at the mining sector and heavy truck traffics and the deterioration of the road network due to the loads on the mining and other agricultural activities within that area. There is also the R510 corridor, the Lipalale to Groblersberg region, which also is known for high traffic truck high truck traffic. So Limpopo and the activities that happen within the province makes it such a crucial area together added with the data that was reviewed in terms of accident data. It puts it in a position where road safety is a huge area that the province should be investing towards. And there are various reasons that are contributing to the unsafe road infrastructure within the province, and there will be, most of them would be discussed by Talia in her presentation from the finding of the Arab methodology that was applied throughout the project. But I stand and believe that the main contributing factor is the outdated information data on the condition of our roads, but particularly the identification of high-risk zones, because without understanding where these accidents are occurring, appropriate measures cannot be directed to where they are required. And the lack of standardized assessment frameworks has also historically posed challenges in improving the road safety in the country as a whole, but also in the Limpopo province. And I see that the NDOT is in the process of addressing that in their new DORA regulations, where road safety is an item that each provincial government will have to be reporting on. And the lack of the road condition data and standardized frameworks has then created a scenario where there is inadequate identification of high-risk zones. And without understanding where high-risk zones are, as within the province as a whole, investments cannot be directed or will not sufficiently be directed to decrease the accidents. Because sometimes you could perceive certain areas to be high-risk zones, but without a holistic overview of what is happening within the road infrastructures, not just the provincial road, but national and also municipal roads within the province itself, not the amount of investment done placed towards improving road safety on roads will not make that much impact. And also that has also contributed to inadequacies in understanding the appropriate safety measures that will then be required, and the identification of which areas are hazardous, and also the delayed in response to emerging trends, because without understanding what needs to be done, where we might end up putting traffic calming measures where it may not be necessary or may not have as much impact or effectiveness as they would have had at a different area. The Limpopo Road Safety Program has created a platform where these identified issues, and it's a pilot, something that has to be taken and expanded on as the province, and where the limitations that were identified with the modernized data collection systems that were part of the programs, and the network level road safety assessment that Talia would be presenting on the findings of as well, and the data collection and regular data audits that would be part of post the program. How do we ensure that we take that further in auditing our road networks to ensure that they keep to the standard that we want within the province. And it has also created a platform where the province has an integrated stakeholder collaboration with the private sector through Anglo-American, the Impact Catalyst, and the government, the Limpopo provincial government, and first responders, the RIMS teams as well, where there is now a greater understanding and collaboration within the province in addressing road safety issues. Talia will be touching on the assessments that were done using the RF methodology, the results of which highlights the critical areas within the province and what countermeasures that the province needs to take to improve road safety and to make our roads more forgiving. It should also be noted that due to the pilot nature of the program, only 1,000 kilometers of the road network was assessed, and there is around 6,500 kilometers of paved road network, which will also need to be assessed as part of the provincial the province taking forward the program and improvement in road safety, where a holistic understanding of what is happening within the Limpopo roads and the critical high-risk zones would be received and understood, so that appropriate investment measures are then directed to high-risk zones. Talia.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here today. My name is Talia Ismail, and I'm a senior road safety technician within the Road Safety Division at ARB Systems South Africa. I had the privilege of serving as a project coordinator for projects 4, 5, and 8 of the Limpopo Road Safety Program, leading efforts to assess and enhance road safety across the Limpopo province. Working on these projects has been an incredible journey. It allowed me to collaborate with an outstanding network of partners, including the Impact Catalyst, the Anglo-American Foundation, CSIR, IRAP International, and other key stakeholders. Together, we shared a collective vision of reducing road fatalities and improving road safety for all road users. In early May 2024, ARB Systems SA was appointed by the Impact Catalyst, the implementing partner of the Limpopo Road Safety Program, funded by the Anglo-American Foundation, to lead critical road safety initiatives in the Limpopo province. The Lrsp projects 4 and 5 focused on conducting road surveys, coding road attributes, collecting supporting data, ensuring quality assurance of the coded data, and disseminating results of approximately 1,000 kilometers of roads in Limpopo. Additionally, the Lrsp Project 8 entailed a safety assessment of 5 schools in Musina, providing current star ratings and evaluating the level of safety at these schools and proposing countermeasures to enhance safety levels. To date, ARB Systems South Africa has conducted 40,000 kilometers of roads across various provinces in South Africa and internationally. We have extensively utilized the IRAP methodology and the IRAP tool to conduct these safety assessments, and I will take you through how using the IRAP methodology can contribute to improving road safety and assist with setting the foundation for safer roads in the province of Limpopo. The purpose of an IRAP safety assessment project is to conduct a comprehensive assessment of road networks to determine the built-in safety features. ARB Systems' involvement in the Lrsp projects 4 and 5 was driven by the goal of making roads safer for all. Through IRAP's proven methodology, ARB Systems assessed approximately 1,000 kilometers of the Limpopo road network to identify high-risk sections and propose targeted countermeasures. The ultimate aim was to align our findings with frameworks such as the National Road Safety Strategy, the Safe Systems Approach, and Vision Zero, setting the foundation for sustainable life-saving interventions in the Limpopo province. The objectives of an IRAP safety assessment project include providing practical safety upgrades, which include road signage and delineation for better visibility and guidance, construction of safe pedestrian crossings near schools and populated areas, crash barriers on high-risk curves and steep gradients, traffic calming measures in urban and suburban areas, eliminating road fatalities and serious injuries along key routes, recommended countermeasures to enhance road safety and create safer conditions for all road users, and lastly, identifying and prioritizing high-risk sections, particularly those with 1 and 2 star ratings. The basic philosophy of IRAP is guided by 3 principles. That is, road fatalities are largely avoidable, road designs can forgive driver errors, and lastly, targeted interventions work. So how do we make roads safer? Utilizing the IRAP methodology is a game changer for road safety. It empowers departments and road agencies with the tools and data they need to identify and prioritize safety improvements. Here's how it assists in making roads safer. Road surveys. The primary purpose of an IRAP survey is to collect georeferenced images of the roads assessed, which can be used for the recording of road attributes. The inspection focuses on more than 50 different design methods and features known to influence both the likelihood and severity of road crashes. These features include intersection design, road cross sections and markings, roadside hazards, footpaths, and bicycle lanes. The ARB Systems team conducted the road survey utilizing state-of-the-art survey network vehicle, which is the Hawkeye Network Survey Vehicle equipped with the Hawkeye 2000 series, to record the road imagery and the GPS coordinates for the purposes of the Lrsp Project 5. The NSV is able to collect surface condition data, which is International Roughness Index, texture depth, rut depths, automatic crack detection data, geometry data, and georeferenced images. The IRAP methodology provides the following. It provides objective assessments. IRAP uses detailed road inspection data to produce star ratings. is a system that objectively measures the built-in safety of roads for all user types. Risk mapping. Road authorities and departments use color-coded maps to highlight the most hazardous sections of the road network, helping them focus on the highest priority areas for intervention. Cost-effective planning. The Safer Roads Investment Plan evaluates the cost and the benefits of the proposed countermeasures, ensuring that the interventions offers high economic paybacks and measurable reductions in road fatalities. Guidance for targeted interventions. With 90 proven road improvement options, the IRAP methodology helps agencies design and implement solutions such as crash barriers, signage, improved signage, pedestrian crossings, and traffic calming measures. Performance tracking. Regular updates to the star rating enable ongoing monitoring, providing the metrics to measure progress and celebrate success while addressing persistently high-risk roads. By using the IRAP methodology, ARP Systems was able to inform and assist departments and agencies in gaining a systematic and transparent approach to saving lives, ensuring that resources are directed where they are needed most. Milestones and achievements. Let me take a moment to share some of the most impactful results from these projects. ARP Systems completed IRAP assessments of 1,001 kilometers of selected roads in Limpopo. Some of the key routes assessed are listed here. A comprehensive road assessment, safety assessment, was conducted using the IRAP methodology and the Hawkeye toolkit. We evaluated key routes such as the R508, R572, and N11, identifying high-risk sections like the R81 and R522 that required immediate interventions. We developed a priority list for immediate interventions based on 1 and 2 star ratings. We also provided a list of short and medium to long-term countermeasures for implementation to assist the different road authorities in the way forward. And lastly, the training and capacity building. As part of our commitment to sustainability, we trained 28 participants on the IRAP Star Rating Essentials course and 4 participants on the Star Ratings for Schools course. This equipping local teams to carry out future evaluations and align efforts with the Vision Zero. Some key insights that were identified were dangerous sections with poor visibility and insufficient safety features. Interventions for safer pedestrian crossings and traffic calming are required. High-speed, undivided sections were most hazardous. Urban areas were prioritized for speed management and pedestrian safety improvements. The R81 rated a 1 star for both vehicles and pedestrians. The R522 and the R525 displayed significant crash risk, and the R528 and the N11 experienced frequent incidents with 1 star and 2 star ratings. The analysis of the assessments showed star ratings before the implementation of countermeasures as well as the star ratings after the implementation of countermeasures. For vehicle occupants, approximately 63% of the assessed roads in Limpopo have been rated a 1 and 2 star rating, signifying that majority of these roads pose significant safety risk to vehicle occupants. Extended high-risk sections have been identified, particularly along roads such as the R525, the R522, N11, and the R528. For pedestrians, 76% of the network does not have pedestrian flow present. Only 10% of roads where pedestrians are present are rated 3 stars or higher, underscoring that the infrastructure is especially hazardous for pedestrians, with 90% of roads rated as 1 or 2 stars. Bicyclists, 72% of network lacks bicyclist flow. A substantial proportion of roads where bicyclists are present lack appropriate infrastructure for bicyclists, reflected by the 1 and 2 star ratings. Motorcyclists, 39% of the road network is rated at 1 star for motorcyclists, posing a significant risk for this user group. Once the analysis was conducted on the VIDA toolkit, and we were able to look at the star ratings after the implementation of countermeasures, it was noted that for vehicle occupants, there is a marked improvement with 67% of roads rated 3 stars or higher, comparing to the only 37% prior. For pedestrians, where pedestrians are present, 18% of the road network is expected to improve to a 3 star or better rating. Bicyclists, a moderate improvement is observed where bicyclists are present, with 56% of the road length anticipated to reach a 3 star rating or higher. Motorcyclists, after countermeasures, 53% of roads are predicted to be rated 3 stars or higher, reflecting a substantial increase from the initial 31%. The Safer Roads Investment Plan. It was noted that by implementing the top 10 recommended interventions from this Safer Roads Investment Plan, which prioritize the highest potential to reduce fatalities and serious injuries, could prevent 1,027 FSIs, which are equivalent to 87% of all the preventable FSIs on the Safer Roads Investment Plan. These interventions offer a benefit cost ratio of 2, with an estimated implementation cost of 412 million. Should departments or agencies decide to implement all of the recommended countermeasures, it is anticipated a 43% reduction in fatalities and serious injuries, demonstrating significant safety improvements. The road ahead. While we celebrate these successes, the work doesn't stop here. We need to continue monitoring these areas to ensure that sustained safety improvements and further assessments of the high-risk zones in the Limpopo province. So how do we do this? Firstly, we need to look at our strategic plans. We need to implement the Safer Roads Investment Plan based on the priority list findings on roads that are rated 1 star and 2 stars. We can start by implementing the top 10 recommendations to prevent over 1,000 fatalities or serious injuries. Secondly, we can look at our long-term vision. Here, we can start by expanding the scope to other unassessed roads in the Limpopo province. We can integrate insights from the IRAP policy into policy planning and infrastructure upgrades, and we can educate the community about road safety so human error can be reduced as this intertwines with infrastructural improvements. We can then address our sustainability goals. Here we can aim for 67% of roads achieving a 3 star or higher, and we can leverage public-private partnerships to sustain long-term safety outcomes. We can then look at community and stakeholder collaboration. By doing this, we can engage local communities near high-risk roads like Marble Hall, Petwana, D2534, and others from the priority list. In doing this, we can raise awareness, encourage participation, promote advocacy, collaborate on solutions. By working with stakeholders to implement targeted interventions, such as safer pedestrian crossings, speed management measures, and improved signage. And we can monitor and evaluate the network by establishing community-based programs to report on ongoing safety issues and assess the effectiveness of implemented measures. Future interventions, the expansion of speed management scenarios, example, a 80-kilometer signboard in high-speed zones that currently have 100-kilometer to 120-kilometer signboard. Pedestrian-focused designs. We can look at refuge islands, sidewalks, and improved road markings. And most importantly, the ongoing monitoring and evaluation. ARP Systems SA can assist the different road authorities by providing regular updates on use IRAP's VIDA tool to track star rating improvements and strategically guide and assist the road authority to systematically maintain their road network year on year. and establish a baseline for performance tracking to assess the effectiveness of safety measures over time. This allows for consistent monitoring and identification of areas needing further attention. As you can see here, we can also apply the step-by-step approach to safer roads, providing the confidence to invest the metrics to measure success. And this is the vaccine we need for safer roads, as per IRAP. In conclusion, the success of the Lrsp projects 4, 5, and 8 reflects the power of collaboration, data-driven methodologies like IRAP, and a shared commitment to road safety. It has been a privilege to lead these projects and contribute to transforming the safety of our road networks. I extend my deepest gratitude to all the partners, the ARB Systems team, the Impact Catalyst, Anglo-American Foundation, CSIR, IRAP International, and all of our partners. Together we are saving lives and paving the way for a safer future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matabo and Talia. I think we really resonate with us that together we are saving lives. And I like the last step, repeat. Let's repeat that over and over and again. Our last presentation will be regarding the Limpopo emergency response, and very interesting project. And Mr. Kwena Mabocha will give us the presentation, and then we will have a short, if there's any questions, then we can answer that, and then we will have a short break, and then the main showcasing of the Limpopo Road Safety Strategy will start.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, all. I'm Kwena Mabucha from Limpopo Department of Health under the Emergency Medical Services sections. So we are currently busy with this interesting, very impactful project of training our emergency care officers, the ECOs, on the clinical practical guidelines. One may ask on what is this clinical practical guidelines. We are, as emergency care practitioners, we are being regulated by the Health Professional Council of South Africa, of which they also guide and limit us on the scope of practices on what can we do on a patient, what you cannot do. Even here in EMS, we have the levels. We are all emergency care officers, but within this cohort or group of emergency care officers, we also have the levels, like the basic life support can treat a patient from point A to point B, and then the intermediate life support and the advanced life support. So in 2017, the Health Professional Council of South Africa released the new guidelines, of which they added more capabilities to each and every scope of practice. And in Limpopo, due to lack of emergency medical services college being operational, and we found ourselves still practicing with the old scopes until this project comes in to kickstart and updating and upgrading all our emergency care officers. So this group of emergency care officers, they're the one that we see day in, day out on the street, playing a critical role in managing road accident victims and ensuring timely and effective care. However, they faced a variety of challenges that hinder their ability to provide optimal support and improve post-crash outcomes, of which the one that were outdated is one of them that I've already highlighted on. So our key challenges, we measure our response times. There is a certain time that we must reach to the side of a patient. Some of you will talk about the golden hour, and from the national level, we're being measured that in an urban setting, from the time the client phones our emergency control center, we're given 45 minutes to be on the side of a patient. And in the rural areas, it's even more, where we're given 60 minutes to be on the side of that patient. So the other contributing factors or the challenges that they delay this response, it's we have behavioral problems whereby no matter if you come responding with the lights and siren, the road users do not give the emergency vehicle right of the way. We know more especially during peak hours. Off-peak Limpopo, the traffic is not that much. And it's also in isolated areas, like more responding or working in a CBD. So, and on most of our road, the road infrastructure does not have that dedicated emergency lane. And when we are responding in the rural areas, most of our road, we are responding on the gravel roads, of which also contributes on how long are you going to take in reaching that client out there. We have picked up that there is also a delay in reporting of road crashes, because once you stop on the patient side and ask, when you are gathering your information, finding out what time did this incident or accident happen, it's long happened. And the more we wait, the more things get worse and worse on that specific client. And we're still facing the lack of knowledge on how and where to report the road crashes. So people still don't know how to activate or phone for an ambulance. Hence, if you can check on our last batch of the Project 500 ambulances, even we had to change and adjust our branding, whereby it comes with a sticker that teaches the public on how to actually phone or activate the emergency medical services. And as I have already mentioned, that there is a various level of care in emergency medical services. We're also facing the inadequate level of advanced life support. Limpopo as a province, we are sitting with 32 advanced life support. And some, they are not fully operational. They are sitting in management portfolios, of which they are only available after hours to respond to those emergency medical services calls. The reason I'm mentioning that we are a profession that evolves day in, day out based on the research and the findings that have been released out there, whereby it also indicated that if we take a definitive care to a patient and then thereafter transport a patient to a definitive care of facility, it improves the chances of survival, and it also limits the damage that the patient may end up facing. And our control center is also a hindering factor, in a sense that it's still an old system. However, Mr. Slata is here, is heading one of our projects whereby we are moving from the old system of paper-based to a system of computerized aided dispatch, and we are hoping to go live before end of this month, where it has all fancy items in it, geolocations, whereby a control center agent can have a broader view of where are these ambulances sitting. And instead of just phoning the ambulance blindly, they have that opportunity of dispatching the most nearest ambulance from the accident scene. And EMS, they are working 12-hour shift, of which you may find that you find yourself in having to go out in a call like 10 to 7 or quarter to 7 when you're about to knock off, of which it's even further extend your working hours. And that's where we see the fatigue and the environment on its own. It's a highly stressful environment, as you'll be exposed to traumatic injuries. And sometimes when you are under pressure, they find themselves facing that they have impaired judgment or their decision making it's disturbed. And also looking at the impact of the delayed emergency response, the injuries can even become more worse. They can be exacerbated by the bystanders, because sometimes when you take long to respond out there, people they end up saying, let's assist, let's help, let's pull him quickly out of a vehicle, and the minute they pull you incorrectly, it even expose you to more and more injuries. So, but if we are there in time, we can do things practically and use the equipment that we have to limit further damage or further injuries. Increased fatalities, failure to stabilize this critical patient or delayed response to advanced facility can lead to preventable death. As earlier on I've mentioned that if we take a definitive care to a scene and then transport to a definitive facility, we'll even save more patients or more clients. And economic and social cost, the more, if we can have a poor outcome on a patient, today, if I'm able to walk and I get involved in an accident and I end up whereby I was not removed correctly or managed correctly, I may find myself being disabled and unable to go and perform my day in, day out duties that I was performing before, of which it also has an impact in the families whereby most of people out there on the streets, they are the breadwinners. So the purpose here of the CPG's project is to enhance the capabilities of our ECOs by establishing a clear, practical, and standard guidelines for responding to road accident as guided by our HPCSA, and also to give them that opportunity to do more on a patient. If you can look on the CPG document, previously in terms of controlling a bleeding is just to put a bandage. Now we even have more things, coagulants, dressings that you can put that they help you to clot quicker and save you from losing a lot of blood. This initiative seeks to address the critical challenges in emergency care by improving training, preparedness, and consistency on on-scene medical care with added clinical skills to ECO scope of practice. We also enhance training. CPGs, they also come with new equipment that they will be allowed to utilize in responding to the road crashes, and the more equipment is more technology based, whereby they can even send the information on the patient to the hospital before they can even arrive, and then the emergency unit will be even well prepared for them to cut more on time, because in our nature of business we are chasing on time. I've also mentioned the reduce of emergency response times already. Quality of on-scene medical care, whereby they will even be able to do more and in a better understanding to save those clients out there. And I've mentioned we're also enhancing the access of essential medical tools and resources from the scene through our CAT project that we are running. And soon you'll receive those invites to come and see the state-of-the-art facility that it will also improve quality on-scene medical care. We, as mentioned, we also enhance the victims' outcomes through this project. And the impact achieved up to date, what is it, do we see what the difference, is there a change or are we still the old same? I can confirm that up to date, we have trained 641, and then the team is still busy training. As we are here, they are currently sitting in Vembe district in Thohoyandou, training more ECOs on these new CPGs. We are over halfway mark, where we are sitting at 54% of training on CPGs. And we also have the feedback from the participant that they report to us that this project have increased their confidence, and then it also assisted them on their decision-making skills when they are sitting with deadlines. and they are now even can handle these emergencies much better. And this program has expanded their scope of practice in both rural and urban settings, and the standardized care practices across all the districts. So the 3 districts that they've already covered, Capricorn, Mopani, and Sikukuni, they have already have this standardized practiced. We have day in, day out surveys at the classrooms, pre and post, just to see, to measure the difference on our colleagues, and we'll even planning to take it even further to the emergency units on how do they receive the patient. Is there a change on the patient that they receive from our colleagues from the street? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kwena. And this project literally saves lives. And that is why it's such an impactful project. So we've run a little bit over time. If there's any questions, the people are here. Please go to them. If there's to the specific person that you want to ask a question to, please have a chat. We are going to have a break, and then the next session will start at 10:30, where we will do the showcasing of the Limpopo Road Safety Strategy. That thing that pulls everything together. So please have a coffee, have a tea, have a body break, and I'm sure there's something to eat as well. Thank you very much. We'll see you now.